I wrote a haiku about today's book. A search for answers. How well can you know someone? Pew pew, mind powers. This is Bookie Bookie, and today we'll be reviewing the strange beast that is Haruki Murakami's The Wind-Up Chronicle. And of course we'll be answering the question, should you read it?
Toru Okada, an unemployed but otherwise ordinary husband living in
Magical curse.
Japan, has a cat, but a cat ran away. So his wife tells him to go look for the cat because, well, he's unemployed and doesn't really do much at home. And that turns out to be the catalyst for an interesting chain of events where Toru Okada has to delve deeper and deeper into a world unknown to him. And, well, for such an ordinary man, Mr. Toru Okada, also known as Mr. Wind-Up Bird, turns out to be doing some very unordinary things.
The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle contains a plethora of stories within the main story. The peculiar people Toru meets all have their own, most bizarre, but intriguing life stories, even more surreal. Elements of these narratives turn up in the real world. The boundaries between fact and fiction, real life and fantasy, blur further as these elements cross over and blend into a parallel dream world flux.
This book is like a fever dream. It jumps around between being about philosophical discussions between colorful characters, to being about a psychic mystery, to being about Manchukuo history, to where the fuck is my cat even? I think it's fascinating because the characters still feel very real in this bizarre adventure, but it's a strange ride.
I was already a fan of Murakami after reading Norwegian Wood and Sleep, which is one of his short stories, but they did not prepare me for the beast that was The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles. I was only ever really able to talk about this book in the same way that people talk about dreams they've had, in the sense that they only really make sense if you're there for the entire ride and part of the world's internal logic, but Murakami does manage to paint a very convincing dreamscape with damaged people and real people too. I would rate my enjoyment a solid 8 just for the length. It's a long but very rewarding rabbit hole to go down, at least once. It's like Alice in Wonderland, if Alice would have been like the entire time.
This book starts off awesome and it throws this really unique blenditude of believable characters in unbelievable circumstances. I can see why Murakami is considered such an important contemporary author. My main issue is that this initial fascination slowly boils into plain confusion, and I think maybe the book would have profited from being shorter because of that. I guess I'll rate my enjoyment an 8+, which could have been an easy 9 if it timed its answers and questions better. But if you like something fresh to put you on your head, consider checking it out.
You have this, what the fuck, Japan? And this story is, what the fuck, Japan?
What the fuck, Japan? And why is there a penis wizard?
Murakami is weird. Like, really weird. But in a good way. A bit like the characters in his novel. I was intrigued throughout the whole ride, though it was a ride that derailed a little bit too much for me. Without part 3, it would have been a definite 9. Now, I rated an 8, and not for the easy-minded.
So, if this piqued your spidey sense, go pick it up. We'll be discussing it at the end of this month in a podcast, and next month we'll be talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So go subscribe so you can't miss it. If you go to our Facebook page, you can vote for the book after that. And for now, I would like to thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
I figured it out just now. Everyone is Philby.